Just a little note here, because a lot of other sites are doing some really good work at big picture type stuff. I just got finished listening to Dark Journalist's latest take on the current crazy corona situation with martial law in California and martial law impending in Massachusetts, two extremely liberal states totally acquiescing to martial law. It's not the liberal states they have to worry about, interestingly, considering what liberals used to claim that they valued. But now it's much easier to impose martial law in places like these very, very blue states, except I still wonder how in the hell it's gonna, like, everybody in California is being told to stay in their homes and not leave. I don't see that happening. Even among the most docile of populations, there's got to be some rebellious people who say, fuck it, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm not just gonna stay in my backyard twiddling my thumbs, watching the internet, watching them frighten me more and more every day with bogus crap. But I'm sure there is plenty of docility, and as we can see with what's going on right now. Now, I just wanted to, as I said, plenty of other people are covering the big picture stuff much better than I could be inclined to do. But I just want to point out something that is a small thing, but I can't forget, and it is significant. And I did not originally come up with it. It was something that I read in a comment somewhere. And ironically, yesterday in the video I recorded, I was kind of disparaging comments left after YouTube videos and articles and other things. And it does seem to sometimes just evolve into insanity and stupidity. But occasionally you get people with who make very, very interesting and very clever observations. And this commenter, wish I could give him credit, or her credit, for noticing this, because by golly, it's true. Here's what this commenter noticed, and what I'm going to point out. So these news conferences where Trump and Pence and a whole gaggle of supposed experts are talking to us, telling us the situation right now, and they're breaking in with these regular broadcasts, these regular, I guess they're press conferences. I guess the press is there. I admit I haven't watched any of them, just because I don't want to get I'm trying to stay the hell away from as much of this as I can. But I've seen the pictures, right? And I've seen maybe moments here and there. What you notice in these press conferences is that this group of people, this group of authority figures, the executive branch, and various people that they have brought on to help talk about the current situation and what the public needs to do. They talk to us about social distancing, right? Social distancing is one of the phrases that's come out of all of this mess. They say it's important to practice social distancing. Social distancing, as I understand it, means you keep people at more than arm's length. I think you're supposed to not go within 6 feet of somebody else. I have no problem with that. As I said before, I'm not I tend to be somebody whose space needs are quite massive. I don't like to get close to people, physically speaking. I don't like it when they get in my aura space. Just stay back, man. I'm okay with not shaking hands, All of this is I'm okay with. But here's what is noticeable. While they're telling us these things, Trump and Pence and these other people on the stage together, they are standing basically cheek by jowl. They are standing very, very close to one another on that stage. What is that? I mean, you're going to tell me you're going to dismiss that? You're just going to dismiss that and say, oh, well, yeah, they couldn't find a bigger stage, I guess. Are you kidding me? The executive branch, the branch of the United States of America, can't find a venue to hold a press conference where they can practice what they preach, where they can model what they're preaching to the rest of us. They don't have the resources to take the press to a different location with a larger stage where they can all stand 6 feet apart, and one of them comes to the microphone and talks and then walks away, and then the other walks to the microphone, and they always are sure to maintain this equidistance, this needful equidistance that they're telling the rest of us we all have to do, no matter what, even when we're with our family and friends, not people that we would generally think of as dangerous, as far as the microbes that they possess within them that might pass from them to us. No, they're not doing that. Now, this is either carelessness on their part, or, I'm open to the idea that this is one of those things that's meant to instill in us cognitive dissonance. Because even if we don't even think about it, even if it doesn't occur to us, even if we don't say anything about it, a part of us has to notice that, Hey, you're telling us to stand 6 feet apart. You're standing right next to one another. What the hell? Do you mean it or don't you? Again, I'm not saying this is definitely true, but it does have the effect, I will say, of instilling cognitive dissonance in the watcher who is astute and who notices these kinds of things. And, it's another one of those tells, just like there's so many, you can find them everywhere in all situations like this one and others that came before it, where they were pulling the wool over our eyes, where the facts on the ground did not mesh with the story that they were trying to tell us. You find tells everywhere. You don't even have to look that hard. This is one you didn't even have to look that hard, and I didn't even notice it myself. I didn't, because I don't really watch these press conferences. Again, I'm not going to get all knee-deep in the hoopla. I refuse to do so. But it's interesting, isn't it? You got to admit that it's interesting. If they mean what they say, they're not acting like they mean what they say. And if they're not acting like they mean what they say, then I would argue that they are selling us a bill of goods, which is nothing new. It's what they do on a pretty consistent basis. But in this case, it's in this situation where, they're pretty much threatening to take down an entire country and impose martial law. From the way things are looking right now, all over this crisis that isn't really that bad of a crisis per se, based on the numbers on the ground, based on the actual death rate of this virus, assuming that this virus is a real virus, which I will just assume that much. I will take them at their word as far as that goes. Anyhow, just wanted to mention that and put it out there. And again, all props to the commenter who made this observation, and I'm just passing it along here. So that's it. Thanks for watching. My name is Andy Nowicki. Check me out at altrightnovelist.com or at lowstatusnovelist.blogspot.com.